Next on the news, Pope Leo XIV uses his in-flight papal press conference to call for peace in the Middle East.
Come Chiesa dico di nuovo, se come pastore non posso essere a favore della guerra.
A Brooklyn high school is growing, how they're expanding their school and ultimately their students' faith. A priest from Staten Island who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the Vietnam War could be one step closer to sainthood. Plus,
in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
A monthly restaurant meeting that's serving up a side of faith.
I love attending Mass outside, away from the church, to show people that faith is everywhere we are.
I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Pope Leo XIV is back at the Vatican, but before his touchdown in Rome, the Holy Father touched on the pressing issues of the world during his in-flight papal press conference, including immigration, the blessing of same-sex couples, and peace.
Chiesa dico di nuovo, se come pastore non posso essere a favore della guerra.
Pope Leo XIV once again weighing in on the war in Iran. The Holy Father was asked on the papal plane if he supports regime change and negotiations.
Un giorno l'Iran dice sì, Stati Uniti dice di no e viceversa, non sappiamo dove va, che ha creato ancora questa situazione caotica, critica per l'economia mondiale, ma poi anche c'è tutta una popolazione in Iran di persone innocenti che stanno soffrendo per questa guerra.
Another major issue the Pope spoke about is immigration, saying he believes a state has the right to set rules for its borders.
Yo no digo que todos deben entrar como sea sin orden, creando situaciones a veces más injustas en el lugar donde llegan de lo que han dejado. El otro punto que sí quiero decir es, en todo caso, son seres humanos y tenemos que tratar a los seres humanos en un modo humanitario y no tratarlos peores, que muchas veces peor que los mascotas de casa.
And when asked about the blessing of same-sex couples, which was approved by his predecessor, Pope Francis, Pope Leo clarified the official church view, saying the blessing is not for the union itself, but for the people who together request it. And that's as far as it goes.
When a priest gives a blessing at the end of Mass, when the Pope gives a blessing at the end of a large celebration like such we had today, there are blessings of all people. To go beyond that today, I think that the topic can cause more disunity than unity.
One thing the Pope did not get specific about was his upcoming travel plans. Other than that, he'd like to visit several countries in Latin America. For now, his next stop will be a local pastoral visit in Italy. He's going to Pompeii and Naples on May 8th, coinciding with the one-year anniversary of his election. You can read more about the Pope's papal press conference online at thetablet.org. And this Sunday, April 26th, Bishop Robert Brennan will be praying for peace before the Brooklyn Shepherd celebrates the diocesan Pro Vita or Respect Life Mass at 11 a.m. Bishop Brennan will be praying a rosary for peace at the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph at 10:30 a.m. You can join in and watch it all live right here on Net TV. And of course, for full coverage, tune into Currents News the following Monday. Xaverian High School is building up. The Brooklyn school is breaking ground on a new floor and rooftop green space this spring. The Exploration and Innovation Center will be home to new classrooms, labs, and the school's chapel. Jessica Easthope has more from Bay Ridge.
For students and faculty, the biggest challenge facing Xaverian High School has been there's not enough of it. Until now.
Opportunity for us to be able to add not only classroom space and dedicated classroom space.
President and former Xaverian Clipper from the class of 1978, Bob Alisi, says this spring the school will break ground on its Exploration and Innovation Center, a $26 million new wing that will transform how students learn and grow at the Bay Ridge High School.
Amazing teachers that are always looking to dream big. Now this is an opportunity for them to really dream and to be able to have the space that will support their dreams in building. a curriculum.
The center will feature a state-of-the-art science lab, a fabrication lab for hands-on creation, and a rooftop terrace. The existing St. Michael's Chapel will also be moved into the new wing, keeping faith at the heart of the expansion.
So important for us to make sure that we have spaces for kids to be kids. They want to be with one another, and this will provide an opportunity for them to do it in a really dramatic and beautiful way.
Right now, the school has 1,700 students walking the halls. Alisi says the new wing will be used by all of them, from 6th grade up to 12th.
The purpose of the new wing is really not to increase our enrollment, but to be able to make use of the space in a much more efficient and appropriate way for teaching and learning.
And the Exploration and Innovation Center will support all of their strengths and interests.
Our hope is that it will cover all disciplines and all curriculum and allow for every student at some point during their time here at Xaverian to be able to benefit from this new space.
Alisi says the project, which is being funded through a capital campaign, also allows alumni the chance to give back to the place that shaped them.
This allows us to continue to grow our academic programs, our spiritual programs, our extracurricular programs, and really chart the path for the next generation of Clippers.
The Exploration and Innovation Center will be fully operational for the 2027-2028 school year. In Bay Ridge, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Wow, it looks like it's going to be beautiful. The canonization for the man fondly known as the Grunt Padre could be moving forward soon. The Vatican's dicastery for the causes of saints is expected to decide in May on whether they will recommend to Pope Leo XIV if Maryknoll Father Vincent Capodanno should be declared venerable. The Staten Island native served as Navy chaplain during the Vietnam War and was killed by enemy fire in 1967. He was declared a servant of God in 2006, and if he is declared venerable, he will need 2 miracles attributed to his intercession in order to be made a saint. The church's first African-American priest born in the U.S. will soon have a shrine in his honor. The Diocese of Springfield, Illinois, announced that fundraising efforts are underway to establish the shrine for Father Augustus Tolton at a former parish church in the priest's hometown of Quincy. Father Tolton was actually born a slave in Missouri in 1854 and escaped with his family to the free state of Illinois. He went on to study for the priesthood in Rome because no U.S. seminary would accept him. And it was on this day, April 24th, 1886, that he was ordained and returned to the U.S. to minister. There's no timeline yet for when Father Tolton's shrine will be finished. Organizers say it depends on fundraising efforts and construction plans. To donate to those fundraising efforts, just go to toltonshrine.org. For some Catholics, faith isn't confined to the 4 walls of a church. One group in Queens proves that, turning a local restaurant into a place of worship. And it's something the Flushing First Friday Club has been doing for decades.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Sometimes you don't have to sit in a church to celebrate Mass.
I love attending Mass outside, away from the church, to show people that faith is everywhere we are.
And every first Friday of the month, you'll find 90-year-old Barbara Evers here at Verdi's in Whitestone, where the banquet tables become pews. Barbara is the program chair for the Flushing First Friday Club, a group that's been gathering for more than 6 decades to honor the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
We have been promised a happy death if we make the fund for it. And if you went to parochial school, the nuns let you know you had to do the 9 First Fridays.
The devotion calls Catholics to celebrate Mass and receive Holy Communion on 9 consecutive First Fridays, a practice of love and reparation to the Sacred Heart.
It's important to keep the Catholic faith going in reference especially to honor the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
John Golden, the board chairperson, has been part of the club for decades, recruited by one of its original members. 67 years later, the mission hasn't changed. Parishioners from Bayside, Belrose, and beyond gather here each month to pray, reconnect, and find community.
It's very enjoyable. I'm now a retired nurse, so it puts a little pep in my step.
Club President Carol White says for attendees, it's more than a meal and a mass.
The camaraderie, the spiritual uplift. We always have wonderful guest speakers.
It was such a nice lunch. I was honored to be invited. The club sends notices to about 18 Queens churches to invite parishioners to join them, but all are welcome. The cost is $48, which covers the 5-course meal. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.
Get out your notebook. Everybody got your notebooks out.
This Brooklyn teacher is breaking language barriers and building community, one English word at a time.
Bird, bird, bird.
For the St. Andrew the Apostle parishioner, it's a calling.
I know God's going to use me somehow. This is what we do. We serve.
How Linnell Schulteis makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.